Good morning. It's the Call Flo Radio Show, and you're on the air.
Good morning, Farmville. How is everybody out there? I hope everyone is feeling fine. It is a Friday morning. For those of us who work on a day-to-day basis throughout the week, we are very happy that it is Friday. Friday always is a little strange here at the radio station, but we can get into that once John Staten comes in here to entertain us for the next 45 minutes or so. So let's see where we can start. Oh, I was reading the Herald, and it says, "What happens next?" This is the Buckingham Commission weighs mining question. So it looks like they're at a point, at a stage where they need to sort of make a decision, and it's interesting. He's saying that you could ban metallic mining, you could make adjustments to the current ordinances, or not do anything at all. So it's going to be interesting what they decide to do. Another option, of course, is banning mining altogether. So all the information, I guess, is in. The well-educated folks of Buckingham County making this decision have all the information they need, we hope. So I'm not even really sure which way this is leaning towards. Maybe if somebody out there has a sense of what's going to happen with this mining ban or regulatory rules going into place. The article also sort of states that, Virginia's a state where, each county and so can't do something different than what the federal or state government tells it can do. I think that's true in most places, but we'll have to see what happens there. And I know some people out there, it's near and dear, so if they know some sense of what's going to happen there, it'd be good to do. Hey, John's in the house here.
Hi.
Hello.
Greetings and salutations, and thank you so much for joining us.
What do you think about this mining thing? Where do you think it's going to go? You think they're going to...
I dig it.
Yeah.
Mr. Badger.
Usually I see it coming. I did not see that one coming at all. That was just out of...
Ask me about climate change.
Okay. No. I'm a little afraid here, but hey, John.
Yeah.
What do you think about climate change?
I'm cold to it, Mr. Badger. And the one-liners just to keep on a-coming.
So you had a story you were going to tell me earlier. What was that all about?
You mean the one that actually happened, or
I think we should actually tell the folks what happened here this morning. It was so I come to work. There's a gentleman that basically has John held captive, or
captive audience.
He's very aggressive. He's looking for work, but he's just. He was one of these people that like to tell stories about himself, but they're actually stories about somebody else. And I don't know. But he was very aggressive. And it made me a little, get my blood pumping first thing in the morning. And you were fantastic. I was amazed at your patience and kindness to this gentleman.
I rarely show that to the public. No, I take people at their word, and I'll listen. But.
Yeah. But you were happy that he left.
Well, I had to work. I had to go on the air.
I know. I was just waiting. All right, John's going to pick up here.
People do that a lot. It's like they'll pick the moment where you actually have to go do something to, hey, let me bend your ear for a while. No, I got to do something. I got to go.
I think that's a law of the universe, honestly.
I think so.
The later you feel you are, the more people are going to get in front of you, the more traffic lights you're going to get.
Makes sense.
It always happens that way. It's not just occasionally, but for me, it just seems to manifest.
I just find it humorous that... any other time nobody wants to talk, and then all of a sudden when you got something you have to do, you're Mr. Popularity all of a sudden.
I don't know if I've ever not felt safe in Farmville until this morning. that guy just did. It was not a pleasant experience. So
I think it shook you up more than maybe me.
I think it did. Well, I come in here and I think I'm going to have to save you or something. Although that's ridiculous.
I'd appreciate that if that was the case. If
it would
have
been pretty close. I still would have put the money on you. So.
Well, that's very nice of you to say.
All right.
So what got you on the mining thing? Did you have a story about that?
There was. I kind of read the highlights of it from the Herald, where basically it was saying that they're at a point where now they've got to make a decision, and these are the decisions you can do. So that's why I'm kind of curious. It sounds like something's going to happen in the next week or two or whatever.
Very well be.
Yeah. Gold mining. If they don't, I wonder if I could personally mine some gold where they apparently have found it. So the company that's coming in to do this isn't a mining company, it's a prospect company. So they come in, they find out where gold or whatever might be, they buy the land up, and then they tell somebody else, hey, we got this land for you. So at least that was my understanding of the brief.
Well, that makes sense, too.
It does. I just wonder how it changes. I wouldn't think that they're like the prospect company isn't. Are they going to regulate people going in and doing that stuff? I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know if they're the land owners. If they purchase the land, I guess it's sort of like an agreement, like you would from a renter, that you have to. Regulate what goes on the land. But that's me being very naive. I don't know.
Cool. Well, maybe somebody out there would call it 434-394-0924.
But then again, who regulates what? There's an argument to be made there.
Yes, I agree. There's a big argument to be made there. WFLO, you are on the air.
Well, good morning. I hear you talking about the gold mining.
This is your time to shine.
I suppose so. I shine better in gold, I'll tell you.
Nice. So what you know?
I don't think it's going to do us any favors if we allow that kind of destruction to happen in our county or anywhere in Virginia. We've got that whole gold pyrite belt that goes from Fairfax to Halifax, so... They're definitely looking at the critical minerals as well, which is really disturbing because it's kind of greenwashing possibly. They're certainly tying it to the green economy and, how they're going to create all these materials and batteries for EVs and everything. And meanwhile, we continue to gobble up as much as we possibly can. And it's disturbing. Yeah. But I'm happy to try to answer any questions if I can for you.
Basically, what direction how do you feel this is going to be voted on? I mean, what do you think the resolution of all this is going to be? And then I kind of sense what your resolution would be, but do you think the rest of the committee is on board with that?
We've heard from everybody we've talked to that they are not wanting gold mining in Buckingham. So that's all the Board of Supervisors, all planning commissioners. Their problem is they just don't know how to pull that off because they don't want to interfere with already mining industry here, like kyanite and slate mining, and we don't either. We just want to look at the future and be proactive. So I don't think it's going to happen as rapidly with them making a decision because we've had some meetings with the county attorney privately, several of us here, and he now has some contact with these people we've been trying to get him to talk to for months. And these are people mostly out west, but even internationally who have had experience with this and who can give some more input than what we have here, because we don't have gold mining in Virginia. It's been a very long time since anything was done, except for what Paul Bush is doing over there in Goochland. He's trying to reclaim the old mine, get the mercury out of the ground. So there are not regulations, as the National Academy of Sciences, Energy and Medicine said. There's not adequate regulations in Virginia to do anything. And we know that we're very short on funds and people. So regulations and enforcement would be really a stretch at this point.
So the mines that are doing the other, that's already in effect,
right.
Obviously, could this actually turn out to be that it regulated them out of business? Is that a possibility?
No, it's not.
Okay,
it would not be going backwards.
Why is it okay
the future
to mine
mining.
for kyanite and not gold, though, is my question. I'm just curious about that.
Say that again?
Why is it okay to mine for kyanite without a problem, and yet gold's an issue? I'm very naive about this, so that I'm just asking out of curiosity.
Well, the point is that we don't want to disrupt the economy in Buckingham that already exists. But going forward, we're trying to have some vision and perspective on how we'd like us to survive. Because where there's been gold mining in other places, the people's left. I mean, like the man who first alerted me to this in 2020, when the company came in to look on his property, he said, well, great, if you find gold, what would you do? And they said, oh, well, you'd have to move. We'd destroy your whole property. So,
whoa.
Yeah, he had 27 acres of his little home in paradise that he'd retired to. So, we don't want that here.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how we're able to best do it because, corporations like to come in and bully people, and especially rural counties.
Well, and then something you said, for clarification, you said you don't want to hurt the economy in Buckingham, but wouldn't it bring jobs and other? You bring more jobs, more people, more businesses are needed to support those.
Well, it's a boom and bust. And what you see historically in other areas, they come in and but they bring in people mostly from other places because nobody's here is trained to work with this heavy equipment and whatnot. But
well, if you don't allow it, how can they train on it? I mean, I get your point on some points, but some of it's beyond my. You are obviously way more expertise than I am, but I don't know. My thing was the old gold mines that existed here were played out from what I understand, so I'm not sure what they're looking for. If they were once regulated as, okay, there's nothing here, nothing but fool's gold, basically. And no,
that's the point. Yeah,
I don't know what they're looking for, I guess, if it's already been sort of said before. There's nothing really here. At that point, I get. If there's nothing here, why bother to mine for it?
Well, because modern-day industrial-scale gold mining uses much different technology than the guys with the picks and axes and donkeys use. So there is a lot, but they have to use much more destructive methods to get it out.
Oh, I found cylinders when I was a kid of the drilling that they used to have, and it had fool's gold on the end of it. So it wasn't just, guys with pitch digging in, all that sort of stuff. It was actual equipment. I mean, granted, it was old, but there's, I used to take it to school for show and tell. It was like a cylinder of rock with fool's gold on the tips of it. So, I mean, but I guess that's what I'm getting at. I mean, even then they were saying, well, the mines are played out. Matter of fact, the mine that I live close to, that is on private property. So basically, last I heard, they basically had it dynamited, so you can't go back there and do anything.
Well, I would assume that big corporation like this has a way that they know gold is there before they
more than likely
would do anything. I think that's what the caller said.
I was part of the group that went on the property where they did the exploratory drilling back in 2020. And I also went out to the location where the geologist had all of his samples stored. I thought it was from multiple mines or multiple locations. They said, oh, no, it's just from this one where they drilled 23 wells to check for the contents. And if you go on Aston Bay Holdings' website, you'll get all that. You go to their Buckingham Gold Project, and you'll see the pictures of some of the samples and the assays. And I was with geologists. I was with the CEO of Aston Bay Holdings. I mean, they definitely found high-quality gold. It's just a matter of how far it goes. And because they have not been allowed to come back, or at least not inclined to come back to look for more, they don't know to what extent. But they do have other areas here in Buckingham that they're also targeting. And that's one of the interesting things. Nobody seems to know exactly where they're looking, but they're talking about brownfields, which means these old sites. So quite likely the old Booker mine over there on 15, going towards Farmville. So, yeah, it's, generally corporations downplay things so that the people aren't paying much attention. So I'm really glad that you're paying attention to this, because it doesn't look good for Buckingham County for sure, and probably, most of that pyrite belt, because anybody could be targeted along there. It definitely would impact the water. The groundwater for most of this state would be impacted.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for calling. And
you're welcome. Thanks for listening to me.
No, I appreciate it. I can't wait.
Go to Friends of Buckingham, the website. So much is there. I mean, we've been forced to get an education in this.
Yeah.
None of us knew ahead of time.
Right. 2 years.
So you'll get it there, or you can also look at Aston Bay Holdings Buckingham Gold Project and find it there.
That's great. That's great. It's the hot topic of the area, I think, really. So it's front page. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, have a good weekend.
Oh, you too. Thank you much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, the thing about kyanite, I was always told that was being mined for what was used for the rockets for NASA. That was the mineral.
Oh, really?
So since NASA is no longer using rockets much going into space, what are we still mining the kyanite for?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either.
I'm not familiar with that.
I'm very ignorant about that.
I don't know
stuff.
if any of that goes into the batteries.
It could. They probably use it for other things. I just remember that was one of the main things you would always hear about as a kid. Well, they use that stuff for the NASA rocket and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. There are two sides to every story.
Yep.
And this one
Yours,
is...
mine, and the truth.
There you
Three,
go.
actually.
There you go. That seems right. So
no, I know what you mean.
I'm interested in how this plays out, really. And I see both sides of the coin, and I'm having a hard time deciding which way I would go.
And without having a vast knowledge of both sides,
exactly.
How do you make a real conscious decision on something like that?
And they've been at this for over 2 years, so it's time for them to probably make a decision, one way or another.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean it's necessarily the final decision.
No,
it could come up later.
Yeah.
I just want to find gold. I'm telling you, man, I want gold.
Silver, and gold.
My whole life, I've thought I was going to find some kind of treasure. Gold would work there,
You're the regular Yukon Cornelius.
Can we get these guys out to my yard and let them drill there? Because,
nothing.
I wonder if they'd let me mine it if I did just use a shovel and a pickaxe. Would that be, should it be that it's
working on the gold mine?
Well, why not? Why not? If it's not destroying the water, it's not destroying anybody. You're on your own property and you've got a big old pickaxe. Because the guy whose property has it on there, I would be like, all right, let the gophers loose, and let's find this stuff. So certainly we digress. You had a story.
I did.
I remember you telling me you had a story.
Oh, you mean the Priscilla Presley story?
Oh yeah, what's that about?
She Priscilla Presley, by the way. You know Priscilla. You remember Priscilla? Priscilla Presley wishes to be buried next to Elvis at Graceland.
That sounds reasonable.
Does it? She's been remarried since.
So?
She left him in 70 whatever.
Is there a genetic tie here?
Well, the problem is it was denied in a settlement talks with her granddaughter. At least as of right now. Yeah.
What's her granddaughter got to do with it?
Well, obviously, you know that Lisa Marie, the daughter of Elvis and Priscilla, had just recently passed.
Right.
So I think whatever Lisa was left has gone to the granddaughter, I think.
Really?
Or she's in controlling interest or something like that. So therein lies your problem.
Interesting indeed.
Now, more than likely nothing's going to come out of this as far as she'll be refused.
All right.
They may grant this at some point. But as of right now, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen.
I wonder if they're going to have just a little like cemetery there for the family. I mean,
well, it's there at Graceland.
Yeah, I realize this.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. That plot there, that's where she wants to be buried.
Yeah.
She wants to be buried next to her and her Elvis and her daughter,
How
Lisa
many
Marie.
people can they fit in there?
I don't know, because last time I checked, I'm trying to remember how many there are now.
Could they share coffins? I mean, you know,
Well, I don't know about
if it
all
was that important to be there, I don't know.
I don't know, but I guess they'd make the space available if they were going to do it. But I just found it interesting that was something that's actually going on. Her wish is to be buried next to Elvis at Graceland. And
so this begs the question, how would you like to die? I'm not die, but would you want to be buried, burnt,
burned
mushrooms,
walk the plank.
Yeah, how would you like to be
And
processed?
a blaze of glory. No, I don't. I haven't given that much thought. To
Do you know where?
In the ground, I guess.
Are you
Torpedoed
sure?
out in space. I don't know.
No, that would be awesome. You know, they have this thing where you can make your loved one into a diamond. You know, they just
Into a diamond.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. You know?
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Could you see, you propose to somebody, and they're like, "Oh, that's a beautiful rock. Oh, that's my mother, Helen."
14 carats of pure perfection. Oh, that's bad.
The visions. Oh, the visions.
Seth MacFarlane, you know, from Family Guy. He's threatening. He quits Family Guy now. He says,
Okay.
It's all because of the Hollywood writer's strike. And just like the Priscilla Presley thing, once this Hollywood writer's strike is over, I'm sure he'll go right back to doing it.
Right.
Because he does all the voices, or does a good chunk of them.
Yeah, it's a good time for him to negotiate.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm sure that's what it is.
Well, they all are.
And they're making a White Man Can't Jump remake. I know you loved the original.
It wasn't-
1992, I think, is
It
when it came
wasn't
out.
bad, but I wanted him to jump so bad. I wanted him.
Well,
to
he did
make,
at the end.
I know, but finally, it took the whole damn movie for him to just get the basketball. And
Had to get the winds and the adjustment of
That
the
was-
shoes just right.
Was that Woody? Wasn't
Yes,
that?
it was.
Yeah, yeah. Woody's done a lot of work, man.
Woody claims to be the brother of what's that other? All right. That actor. I can't think of it.
Sorry,
You should see the look on Larry's face when I did that.
You're just gonna have to give me more. Like I'm supposed to know this.
Most people know what I'm talking about.
Oh my goodness. Hey, do you have the birthdays over there?
I'm afraid I do. I mean, I do.
Okay. You want to do those?
There's a lot of them. I guess.
All right. Well, it's that time of the hour,
let's
so
see.
I'm going to do the weather first.
You go right ahead, sir.
That's where we're at.
That's where our bread is buttered. So you go ahead.
All righty. This edition of the weather is brought to you by the Bank of Charlotte County.
Hello, I'm Stuart Wilborn, manager of the Bank of Charlotte County Loan Office in downtown Farmville. With over 30 years of banking experience, I'm here to help you finance your commercial, agricultural, or personal project. Give us a call at 391-1136 or stop by our downtown office at 216 North Main Street, where you'll find old-school personal assistance with attention to detail. The Bank of Charlotte County, giving you more for your banking needs. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Thank you, Stuart. It is 55 degrees out there. Humidity is 88%. Winds out of the north at 5 miles an hour, and the barometer is steady at 30.27 inches. Today's going to be partly sunny with a high of 74, and overnight partly cloudy with a low of 53. Saturday's going to start out partly sunny, and then a 30% chance of showers later on with a high of 82. Overnight, there's a 50% chance of thunderstorms early, and then a 40% chance of showers later on with a low of 56. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday are all sunny. Sunday with a high of 78. Overnight, mostly clear with a 52. Sunny Monday with a high of 79. And Monday night, partly cloudy with a low of 52. And Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high of 76. The Bank of Charlotte County, with branch locations in Phoenix, Charlotte Courthouse, Brook Neal, and their loan office in downtown Farmville. All righty. The birthday calendar is brought to you by Terry, Atkins, Wilson, and PC.
The law office of Terry Atkins Wilson, PC, is located at 117 North Main Street in downtown Farmville. With deep roots in Farmville and our surrounding communities, Terry and her legal staff specialize in real estate law, wills and trusts, business formations, and collections. Experience and professionalism are extended to every customer in every case. The needs and concerns of every customer are their primary focus. If you have legal needs, contact the law office of Terry Atkins Wilson, PC, for a consultation at 434-392-1422.
It's that time.
Let's hear John Butch these birthdays.
You'll be fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. All right, birthdays for today. If you're keeping score at home, it is May 19th. Happy birthday going out to Rob Stanley of Farmville, Ryan Staler, Aaron DuBois, and Kara Robertson.
What about the girls?
I don't know. George Booker, and that is for today. Then we've got on the 20th, a lot of birthdays.
Saturday.
Yep. Dawn Poitras, I'm guessing.
Good.
Caleb Roberson, Sheila Golson, Matthew Mullins, two Matthews. Matthew Schutt, Schutt. We had that name before.
Bang.
Okay. Rowan Lee Pasquantino.
Ah, nice. Quentin Tarantino.
Well, could be. And let's see. So now we've got anniversaries all for tomorrow, the 20th. Here we go. Mr. and Mrs. Tyler Rigsby, Scott and Michelle Wallace, John and Cappy Montgomery. And I almost forgot the most important birthday on the 20th.
Oh, yes. This is right.
I was sent this
directly.
This morning.
Very
important.
Fresh off the press.
LB is 3 on Saturday.
LB 3.
Will be.
LB's our dog.
So how are you going to celebrate the 3rd?
Oh, we're making a cake. We're going to take him down by the pond.
Cool beans. All right. And then on the 21st, we've got Hudson. Yeah. V-I-A-R.
Yeah.
V-I-A-R.
Huh. Yeah.
I tell you, folks, I'm not qualified for this.
I think it's French.
Yeah.
Je ne crois.
Jean Janté. Anyway, Karen Andrews. Let me say that again without laughing. Karen Andrews and, let's see, Susie Taylor of Dillwyn. And we do have an anniversary couple on that 21st Sunday. It is Robin and Jimmy Maz.
Right on. There's a lot of people on.
Hopefully I got in the vicinity of being somewhat right on some of those.
Happy birthday, LB, and everybody
and everybody else. And whether you made the list or not, happy birthday, happy anniversary.
Yes. And for the right legal advice, visit Terry Atkins Wilson, PC, Main Street in Farmville.
That boy, I can butcher a name like the butcher on, what was that show where the butcher dated Alice?
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, the Brady Bunch.
Thank you, the Brady Bunch.
Oh, my goodness. Haven't thought about them in a long, long time. I think they'd be controversial today. But
the Brady Bunch?
Yeah, probably somewhere. I vaguely remember that show. I know I watched it a lot.
Unfortunately, I remember it being on even in rerun when I was a kid. Yeah, see, a lot of the stuff.
That's a long time.
Well, see, a lot of the stuff I grew up on was reruns of old shows because they had either found a way it was cheap to run those, or whatever.
Syndications.
Yeah, so I grew up on stuff that was technically before my time, but it was in rerun form by the time syndicated, like you said.
Well, everything's starting to make a little more sense about you.
You're such an old soul.
I'm
going, well, it's because I've seen a lot of old stuff.
Yeah. So I've been wondering, why does everybody sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game"
when you're already there?
When you're already there. I just don't know what's going on there.
Well, I guess you can't sing "Here I Am at the Ball Game." It just doesn't have that same ring to it, I guess.
Yeah, I love singing that, though. Here I am at the ball. Yeah, it works, It works. Going out, I guess.
We're going to start a controversy about this.
Yeah, really.
You can't change the way that song is sung.
You know, though, it's true. Anybody could change the entire world at any point in time. Do you feel that way?
Can change?
Yeah, you just never know who's going to pop into that vibrational existence to make the changes that need to be changed. Mm-hmm. But, we might be too late. No, just kidding. So, the boating store is having a big sale on canoes.
I went to the boat store and I wanted to see a girl about a flat bottom. She said she didn't have one.
Oh, right. Well, this is that sounds quite the ordeal.
Okay. Army matey.
All right. You got any more stories?
Just the one about this. It's food-oriented.
Okay.
All right. There must be a new Spider-Man movie or something coming down the pike. Burger King has a Spider-Verse Whopper now. So check out this thing. It has a bright red bun. And it's topped with black sesame seeds.
That sounds beautiful.
So the red is coming from a dye called Red Dye 40. Do you think you would maybe eat something like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yep.
Well, I know what to get you for lunch today.
Where's the beef? Where's the beef?
Wrong place. No, that is the right place. You're right.
It's Burger. You said Burger King, right?
Yeah, I did. You were right. Home of the Whopper.
When did that start getting popular? This whole, all right, a movie's coming out, so they plaster it all over some kind of meal.
It's been for years, ever since I was a kid. I mean, the Star Wars glasses and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I guess it started way back then.
It's been one,
I wonder who the first was. I wonder who started this trend.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Maybe somebody out there knows at 434-394.
Get your own Brady Bunch glasses. You get Marsha. You get Peter and Greg and whoever the heck else was on.
And there's so much retro stuff that happens and pops up like that. We may have just triggered somebody into a Brady Bunch. Reunion. They had a reunion several years ago.
Did. Yeah,
that was scary.
It was scary.
Yeah, well, because you look at these people, you grow up with them, right? I was the same age as some of these Brady Bunch kids, and
right.
Wow, see him now. It's like, holy moly. Do I look that bad? Actually, some of them look fantastic. So it just depends on how you live your life.
You look marvelous.
How you live your life. So, I was going to ask you an important question that I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
So, How do you think music affects people's brains?
I don't know. I don't know. I assume it's one of those things where if you're in a good mood, you want to hear something uplifting and it has an upbeat to it, and if you're sort of down and out, you want to hear something depressing. I don't know how that. It sounds with thinking and talking like that makes it sound like you're already there in your mind space of however you feel, and you want music to accompany that feeling as opposed to. Oh, I hear this low...
Changing
my attitude.
Well, there's been a lot of signs with binaural frequencies and stuff like that. That actually trigger beta waves and stuff inside your brain. I was studying this. This is part of my master's at the university that I never finished. Mm-hmm. But it's amazing the effects that music can have on... I mean, do you have a song, a favorite song, you really need to cry? You put that on and it just yanks the tears right out.
Yeah, there's some songs that'll make me kind of very insightful, sad, whatever you want to call it.
I don't know. You got one particular?
I played it the other day. It was "Memories" by Elvis. To me, that is a sad song.
Yeah,
that's a sad song. It almost sounds like something that would be played at someone's funeral or something. It's that sad. It's like. I don't know. Certain songs like that kind of make me go, I don't.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of songs out there that just. I mean, I think a lot of people have memories associated with their music in time. To be able to bring that back.
It's like
up.
a smell. They say smells will make you remember something.
It's the most powerful one.
Yeah.
Have you ever been walking down the street and just.
Yep.
Whack!
Yep.
Man, it hit you like a brick. It's called a brick today. Yeah. What smell is it that gets you most of the time? If it
was not so much most of the time. It happened maybe once. But it was so impactful that because I don't. It's not something I would normally run across smelling. a girl one time I was real into when I was in school. I mean, this is how far back it goes. She had some sort of, I don't know if it was hairspray and or a perfume, and it was. I know that she wore that because that's how she usually smelled when I was around her.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I hadn't seen this girl at this point for years. Hadn't come across her, and I didn't see her then. But I could smell that smell.
Yeah,
I was walking around probably in a department store or something, and I could smell that fragrance, and I was like. Took me right back to where I was in school and everything else.
It's amazing how powerful that is.
Yeah, and I looked around. I was like, "Is she around here?"
I'm pretty sure that there are therapists who use scents and stuff like that to elicit different emotions. Mine was there was a scent, Jean Nate. I had an ex who wore that. I mean, it was shampoo, perfume, soap, toilet paper. It all smelled like Jean Nate. And man, somebody went the other direction, and I got a whiff of that, and it was almost like PTSD, man. I had this elicited, like I'm a little bit scared that she's actually there, not that that she would do anything, but but yeah, that's music. So
it's the essence of what you smell that makes.
Go ahead.
Good Lord. You scare me sometimes.
Antonio Banderas.
Oh, man, Antonio. Do you like Antonio?
Yeah, he's cool. I liked him as Zorro. I liked a couple other
Zorro
movies he did.
Good. Yeah. Puss in Boots. That's my favorite role of his, man. When he's hacking up that hairball in Shrek, oh, my God, I thought I was going to lose it. That was just beautiful.
Ask me a question, I will tell you no lies.
Oh, now I lost my train of thought. Choo-choo right out the window.
Sorry.
Oh, no, I was thinking of virtual reality. Have you ever done virtual reality?
No.
Well, you got to come over someday.
Okay.
I got a HTC Vive 3D setup.
Wow.
It's very nice. I put it in the living room. What we mostly like to do with it is 3D art. You put people in there and you paint like all in the room and everything.
Okay.
It's very cool. Or Google Earth. You can get in Google. I always go to Buenos Aires. I don't know why. With the big mountain with the dude on top of it. So you can go anywhere. You can just
mean Jesus?
No. Oh yeah, that dude.
The dude.
I didn't want to call him out.
I know what you meant.
So anyway, it's amazing, and there's great games with that. But I always thought, all right, if you're going to make a virtual reality, you need to include sound, which they do, and smell. And I keep trying to figure out how they might be able to do a virtual smell thing. And I think you could. Like if you had all these chemicals inside of the mask or whatever, and you could actually figure out how to squirt certain ones out at the
Smell-o-vision.
Hey, it might go over good. Have you ever been to Disneyland, Disney World, where you're like...
yeah.
Have you done any of the 3D tour rides where you're sitting down, but the whole thing is, flopping
I'm sure
around?
I did. Now, granted, it's been a long time since I've been, but if I recall, there was definitely something where you're sitting in a car.
Right.
And basically, it's a movie in front of you.
Yeah.
You're just moving, and the thing is rocking back and forth, basically. And
this one was a Michael Jackson one, I think.
Okay.
And then they did a space one after that, but it was pretty cool. And I was like, there's only one thing missing from this thing, and it's smell. So, well, what could be especially on the spaceship one, they could have done jet fuel or something in there.
Is there smell out in space? I've always been curious about that.
No,
I didn't think so.
And there's no sound. We established that the other day because if there was, we'd all be blown off the Earth because of
I figured there wasn't.
Sunshine.
That's why they can get away with that nasty food they send up there for the astronauts to eat. Can't smell it.
I'm sure they can smell inside the capsule since there's air.
I can't smell this.
Is this a peanut butter sandwich or what is this?
Oh, peanut butter banana.
I see the banana. Wait, that's not a banana. Banana. Do you like
banana nana for her?
Oh God, we just lost the entire audience. Sorry about that, folks.
Yes, we have no bananas.
That's right. So the trend of lo-fi hip hop what do you know about that? I mean,
my expert opinion on such matters of lo-fi rap.
First question is why? Why would they do this?
I don't know. That's a good question.
And I don't know a lot about it, but maybe somebody out there, because we have a young audience out there, they know about hip-hop. And so what's the lo-fi hip-hop in the modern world all about? I'm just not sure. It's one of those retro things.
Okay.
It's probably another way to get attention, you know.
I would imagine so.
It works, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you ever like rap?
I didn't mind it so much when it was a little more fun-loving in the 80s.
Yeah.
But once it got real political and all that, just like any other type of music, I don't know. To me, music, if it doesn't kind of take me away from my troubles, I don't want to be reminded. Don't get me wrong. There are some message-type songs I don't mind.
Right.
But I don't know if I get off on listening to that like some people do.
Yeah.
Me, I'm more of a... As long as it's got a good backbeat, maybe some rock guitar, a couple of screams every once in a while, or something, I'm fine. I don't need all my music to be thought-provoking and all this sort of stuff. Because, I mean, you're around it all. I don't want to, like you're talking about the music and with your mind and all this other stuff. To me, if you're listening to that stuff, when do you allow yourself not to think about that stuff?
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure you watched the movie Eminem. I've
seen it. I mean, I've seen enough to know what it is.
Yeah, he did a lot of, made a lot of progress in making people aware of what kind of rap is, where it comes from, and how it manifests itself. And that's the aspect of it that I really like, is that these guys or girls can make up words and lyrics, and a lot of times the good ones have a unique rhythm inside of them. It's not just everything rhymes on the four, but I'm not a fan of listening to it nowadays either. I mean, occasionally a song.
I mean, I was there for like the early stages, like Run DMC, and even with the Aerosmith crossover Walk This Way. I was there. I remember that video being brand new as a kid. I remember seeing that.
Cool.
And I had no clue who Aerosmith was at the time.
Yeah,
that's what's freaky about it now, because now I know so much about Aerosmith and have seen them since then. It's almost like I did a transition. I was sort of, as a young kid, more into the pop top 40 and that dance, now becoming rap music. And then as soon as I saw that video, I was like, who are these two guys here? Who are these cool guys? Because once I realized what the song was, it was their song. They wrote the song.
Right. They were
covering it. And so once I realized that, I was like, well, gee, if I like this song and they're the ones responsible for writing it, maybe I ought to check these guys out.
That's good. I mean, that's an open mind of a young person.
Yeah.
That's always good.
I was curious.
Yes.
It was curiosity, really. It was, and once I listened to their other songs, I was like, I like this.
Yeah, and I think it's anything and everything. There's good and there's not so good, and then there's just terrible. Being like willing enough to seek out the things you like, I think, is really cool. I like these days that they interject some rap into modern kind of pop songs. When it's done well, it's fantastic.
Well, it's in the country music now.
That's true, and I find that. I don't know. I think that's interesting.
It's interesting. I don't know if it's good, but it's interesting.
Well, but the experience you have with it when it comes up, don't you're so aware of it, I guess. And I'm sure that's one of the reasons they use it, is just how powerful it can be.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Have we beat this horse to death and kicked it around?
Wilbur.
Oh, my.
Name is Mr. Ed.
Hey, why does K-pop take over the planet?
What is K-pop?
That's what I was going to ask you, too. I'm not really sure. Do you don't know?
If it's taking over, I need to learn what it is so I can fall in line with the rest of it.
We may need to add some tags onto onto the station. Where K-pop goes to die. I don't know what it really is. Maybe somebody out there could tell us what K-pop is.
I don't know. Maybe. K-pop.
Well, K-pop is one of those things where you have your Kmart and you pop off the top.
So outside of this job because it's unique beyond anything else. When you're like reading or trying to do something, does music help you focus or does it distract you?
That's a good question because I do remember in school when I would do like trying to do homework, I would always have music in the background, and I always found myself concentrating more on the music.
I was the same way. I couldn't think of anything else. It was all about the music, you know.
So, if anything, I'm probably not the right person to ask because I tend to lean more towards the music, you know.
Yeah, I think classical helps me with that one. Classic because it has no lyrics, so I don't have to worry about that. And usually, depending on the classical, of course, but I would just use the standards, you know, Mozart, Chopin, Bach. Well, then how much of that music is in, like the old, you know, the Bach, Mozart, Chopin, that type of stuff, in current music? I mean, I think we don't even realize how much is actually in there. I know you do, huh? You don't say. I did a songwriting class, but that wasn't the right words. It was music composition for films because I was in film school. So, it was, and now I have no idea what kind of what I was.
Bum 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 bum. Did you like the movie Amadeus?
I'm not sure I saw that.
Oh, you need to watch that.
Really? Who's the star in that one?
Oh, man. It's an actor who I've seen in other things, but he was not that well. I mean, he had a career, but it wasn't, like, obviously big enough for me to actually go, it was so-and-so. The guy who plays his in the movie, they make it seem like they're antagonists. I don't think they really were in real life. But he's another well-known actor, and I could cheat and pull up my phone, but I'm not going to do that. But it's an interesting film, and what made me do that great scene at the beginning where the antagonist character is in basically an old folks' home or sanitarium or something like that. Well, make a long story short, there's this priest that visits him every so often. And he happens to be at a piano, and he's playing, or a harpsichord or something, and he's playing these songs, and he's playing his own music, and he's asking the priest, "You ever heard of this before?" And the priest is going, "No," and all this stuff. And finally, he goes, "How about this one?" And then he goes, "Bum dun 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 dun," and the priest starts humming along and going, basically what I'm doing, bum 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 bum. And he goes, "Yes, I've heard that before. Did you write that? I didn't know that." He looks at me in disdain and goes, "No, that was Mozart."
I think I may have seen. It was one of the scenes where he's got his head laid onto the piano so he can hear because
maybe so
deaf or something. Yeah,
maybe so. I don't remember that part.
What a terrible situation. You're a composer and you're deaf. I mean that would be. Oh, what a broken heart that would be.
Because at least people like Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, at least they have the hearing. I mean, to me, I think that's an obstacle in itself, not being able to see and play music, but more so, I guess, if you couldn't actually hear it.
Yeah, it would be devastating. I think music's being used a lot more in therapy and in schools because I think they've shown how it can calm people down. So I would think that they'd be blasting it in schools, preschool. All the time to calm down those children. Feed them a little sugar, play some Bach.
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
Oh, yeah. So, all right. What do you know about Virginia?
Well, I understand that it's the Old Dominion, and I don't know. I just know I'm here. That's all I know.
All righty.
What do you know about Virginia? What was the misconception you had about Virginia?
That people, boy, did my filter system just kicked in really fast there, I love Virginia. It's awesome. It is, actually, but I don't know, misconceptions. We sure, did a lot of, we looked up stuff.
Right.
And I was really surprised that this area has a pretty high rate of crime, and so we were like, oh no, we're gonna we're going to a place that's not real as friendly as we thought it was going to be.
Right.
So, but we got here, and that's not true. Everybody's so nice. Everybody's, kind of, ready to help you out if you need it. So
that's kind of like what you said earlier. I think there's good and bad in every state, every city. Some maybe more so than others, but...
Well, did you know Virginia was named after Queen Elizabeth?
Was her first name Virginia?
It was Virgin. She was called the Virgin Queen.
There we go. Yeah, I was vaguely aware of that.
Yeah, I was wondering if they taught that in school here. So.
I don't know if they taught it, but it kind of sort of came with the territory.
Territory. Yeah,
you like that? Hey, Buckingham Palace.
I thought I had heard that somewhere.
That's right.
Maybe,
when you come to Buckingham, it's royalty.
Is that why there's so much controversy here?
Yeah, probably so.
It's just carrying over from over the pond. Oh, my.
It's the Beehive Boys again.
Did you know that the Virginia Assembly is the oldest continuous lawmaking body in the New World?
That makes sense. We were considered the home of the presidents at one time and all that sort of stuff. So.
It's kind of interesting that they use the New World, since it's not really that. So earthquakes? Do you guys have earthquakes here?
Yeah, but not to the degree that you guys out in California do.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, you're always... Well, you know what's weird here, and I don't know what happened after I moved here, but I can be sitting in my chair, and it feels like I'm in the middle of an earthquake. I don't know how that happens, but that just started happening here. So
I mentioned earlier when the lady was on the phone about the gold mine that they dynamited the cave in the mine close to where I live. That felt when they did that exactly like the little earthquakes we get here. It felt almost exactly the same to me.
Really?
Yeah. Because they were doing underground dynamiting, and I guess, I don't know, for some reason the sensation seemed very similar to me.
I would think so. I would definitely think so. I had a thought. It just went poof right out of my head. I've done fairly well today,
Capturing your thoughts.
Yeah, most thoughts I've been able to hold on to them long enough to get them out of my
stop
face
using
hole.
that butterfly net to catch these things.
It's the avocado. The avocado is distracting me. So
Hey, Larry.
Yesterday you took over the microphone. I was appalled. I could not believe
Don't forget Albie's 3 on Saturday.
That's right. And presents you can send to 201 Crescent Road. No, just kidding. No, seriously. No, just kidding. All right. It is that time of the day that we have to sign off and say goodbye, and we appreciate everybody out there. We hope you have a most fantastic day, and you're listening to WFLO. John Staten is coming your 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 Staten is coming